Let's give it up for the Technics SX-K700. Rolls right off the tongue. My gosh, this is a synthesizer of sort. It is a PCM keyboard with dual speakers on board and two different sound banks, one for solo, one for poly. And if these are PCM sounds, they sound really weak. And this matrix of going through the buttons from top to bottom, left to right, to identify your sounds, and then you can add on two different effects with really no choice on how strong or weak those effects are, does not leave a lot to the imagination or to the interest of anybody who wants to make good electronic music. Unfortunately, this keyboard is not my favorite, and I think the best part of it is the accompaniment mode, which is saying a lot for me because I generally hate arranger keyboards. But Technics is the instrument that one of my favorites, Wesley Willis, used to make a lot of his tracks. And while I was away on a trip, one of my commenters said, "Hey, Technics is the keyboard Wesley Willis used." So I was like, "Oh yeah, cool! Like this could be the Wesley Willis keyboard." And I came back to find out, of course, it's not. So I'm giving you a sampling of all of the presets here. I'm not going to go through every one of them. But what's really interesting to me is, like, while we've got two banks, we've got the poly bank and the solo bank, none of them have anything to do with bass. And it's like Meghan Trainor's greatest troll came to make the most like mid-range to treble keyboard possible. And ultimately, like, these sounds are like not very fun to use because you're just getting kind of like weak piano and lead sounds no matter where you go. And like even the rock guitar or the synths, they sound like vibraphones. Like it just doesn't sound good. Another thing that's really dumb about this keyboard is it's got like the mixer panel, which is right in the middle, all of those buttons right down the line. Change your bass, your drums, your main accompaniment. And they're not sliders, they're like pre-selects. So you have like quiet, louder, loud, loudest. You don't really have a lot of differentiation there. So putting together a mix with this keyboard is actually pretty weird. But there are some things that are actually kind of cool. There are like these like random sound effects you can add. There's like these 3 drum pads, and the accompaniment on this is actually pretty solid. So I think like we should kind of focus on that because that is like the one thing that is, at least interesting. But before we walk away from the sounds, these are some of the few kind of interesting sounds you get from the keyboard. So there's a few different like synth sounds that are all right. I mean, I could definitely sample them and use them with different effects and probably make some good tones if I really wanted to. But I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze there. And so let's go and like play with some of the drum parts. Now these are cheesy, and you have to go into this knowing these drum patterns are going to be pretty cheesy. But they're also complex. You've got like 4 variations for every pattern. You have fills, you've got lead-ins, you've got outros, and so there's actually like a lot here if you're into making very cheesy, 1990 sounding accompanied type music. And honestly, it's fun. Like you can just fool around for a little bit and have a pretty good time with it. And like when we think about our man Wesley and all the tunes he made, it's very similar. And the kind of the architecture of the beats and everything between the KN 2000 that I think he was using and this guy, which is a lesser version, is kind of there. So you could, if you want to be a Wesley Willis cover band, of course you could do that. I would recommend getting the right instrument. In the Wesley Willis documentary, he's using a Silicon, which I didn't even realize was made it into America. So very interesting. However, ultimately, getting back to this keyboard, what do I want to do with it? Where are we now? I don't think I ever want to touch this keyboard again. I've got plenty of other instruments that are waiting to be reviewed, waiting to be looked at, and where I'll actually use to make music. Where this one, it feels like a toy or a clunky piece of machinery that I have no need for. So what does that mean for you? Giveaway! This is a time where I will give you 100% of my earnings, actually like infinite percent of my earnings from YouTube, to give you this keyboard. So if you're in the Munich area and you would like to take possession of this keyboard, please do DM me, comment me. I will give it to you without power cable. You can buy that on Amazon for $3, and off you go. You can go and start making your own less than Wesley Willis quality music at any time. So don't thank me now, thank me later. Do hit that subscribe button and come back, because I've got plenty of things in my queue to show you. Alright, as we say over here, rock over London, rock on Chicago. Stickers, why wait?